just enjoy. So bring yourself to your Pilates relaxation position, and that's our feet flat to the floor, our knees to the ceiling. And just bring your arms just to the side of the body. I'm just going to give everybody just a moment to get in place. Yeah, we're going to use our band a little bit today. Like I said, we've got our cushion as well. We're going to use that just for our little rolling. You might want that, you might not. And again, working on our little bit of rotation as well. It kind of helps stimulate the body, just helps revive the muscles. Just a lovely way to move as well. And with that in mind, we're going to start with the palms up, the arms just a little bit wider than hip width, and maybe our feet a little bit wider than hip width. And then when you're ready, take a breath in, and on the exhale, take both legs over to the right. So just easing the legs over, and if the left shoulder lifts, that's fine just to start with. And then we'll bring the legs back to the centre. We can do another breath in and a breath out as we roll to the other side. So just really enjoy this. Just enjoy waking up. It's likely that, this is our kind of first moves of today, our first purposeful moves of today. So just start to listen to the body. And just notice how you feel as you're moving the legs. And like I say, just as we do this, we can let the opposite shoulder lift. What I'd like you to notice is rolling to the soles of the feet, and then noticing you're rolling to the outside edge of your outside foot and inside edge of your inside foot. So if you can relax the feet, relax the toes, so the feet, soles of the feet on the mat, and then noticing you're on the outside edge of your outside foot, inside edge of your inside foot. One more time each way. Breath into the centre, and then almost like a meditative roll of the legs. So going slowly, but noticing feet, maybe starting to notice the knees, the hips, the waist. Good, and then last time. Inhaling and exhaling as we roll. Like I say, nothing forced or no technique about that necessarily, just moving the legs. Good, we come back to our start position, well done. Bring the feet back into hip width and the arms just a little bit closer to the side of the body. And then just find a really comfy position for your back. Yeah, maybe that little pocket of air between the lower back and the mat. Stay with that. Straight into the starfish, left arm and right leg. Inhaling, starting to move, and exhaling, getting a lovely stretch. Soft point through the right foot, lengthening through the left fingertips. Just pause for a moment. Don't worry if you've already come back, but just start to notice, again, a little bit of lengthening out through the right thigh. Just double check your back hasn't moved, so you could even slide the fingertips into the lower back, maybe even check the hips. And then when you're ready, it doesn't matter if you're already onto your next one, but just if you're coming with me, inhale and exhale, land the foot and the hand back to the start. Same thing to the other side. So inhaling starts the movement of the arm and leg, right arm and left leg if you're with me. And then just wherever the hand lands, whether it's the thumb, the back of the hand, or just the arm hovering, soft point through the left leg, back stays still, lengthening all the way through the fingertips if you can for me. And then inhaling, starting to move the arm, and exhaling to bring the arm all the way back to the start. Yeah, lovely. We'll do that again. A breath in, starting to move, and a breath out. Just see if we can find a wonderful stretch through the lower body and the upper body. Yeah, good. And coming back, beautiful. Inhaling and exhaling to come back. Perfect. We'll do the last one to the other side. So don't worry if you're ahead of me and you've done extra and you're going a little bit faster. That's absolutely fine. Just noticing the length, the stretch, noticing any niggly parts of the body that we might have this morning. And then come all the way back, guys. Brilliant. And then just separate the feet a little bit wider than hip width as we go into a little pelvic tilt. Yeah? So can we rock back towards the mat? And then rock away from the mat. Yeah? Could we exhale back towards the mat? Just a lovely pelvic tilt. And then inhale as we move away from the mat. Upper body relaxed, shoulders relaxed. Just start to notice how the lower back and the hips feel. Maybe we can imprint the back on that exhale, noticing you're lightly pressing the back down. And on the inhale, maybe the back arches away from that and we get that natural stretch through the lower back as well. But none of that is essential. We're just going to do that one more time. Yeah, so easing back. So it's just our pelvic tilt and then releasing. Just notice how that feels. Well done. Now we're going to keep the feet wide, gang. So we're going to keep the feet wide. We're going to go into a 5-point shoulder bridge. So you've got your feet a little bit wider than your hips. Yeah, try that for me. It's really lovely because it gives us really lovely support in the hips there, the back. So we're inhaling to imprint. Yeah, noticing the tummy should be flattened. Good, and then exhaling as we release. Good, inhaling as we head back into that same imprint. And then exhaling, lifting your tailbone. Inhaling, starting to lower down, and exhale, roll back to the long lengthened back. Yeah, so it's a 5-point shoulder bridge. Inhale as we imprint. Exhale as we lift the tailbone, maybe you've lifted the lower back, maybe you've lifted towards the waistband. Yeah, pause there for me and notice how the feet are supporting you, the legs supporting you. Inhaling as you come back down, don't worry if you're ahead of me. Exhaling as you're rolling back to your start. And just take a pause. Good, inhale again, imprint. Exhale, lift the tailbone, lift to the waistband, and then see if you can lift to the bottom of the rib cage. Yeah, so you're just nestling on the lower part of the ribs. You could even have a little nudge around there, right to left, just kind of a little bit of a massage into that area. Inhaling, and then exhaling as we come all the way back down. And you might be changing that breath, and that's absolutely fine too. Good, and then we go again, imprint on the inhale. We can't imprint on the imprint. And then exhaling, lift the tailbone. Notice that lift to the waist. Can you notice you're lifting to the lower part of the ribs? And then really soften into the shoulders. Option is to lift to the middle of the shoulders. So the bottom of the shoulder blade, you might feel that. Yeah? And notice you haven't come all the way up yet. And then guiding your way down, see if you can lengthen your spine back towards the mat. Yeah, maybe noticing we're going to the right side or left side a little bit, and that's fine. And then here's our last one. So an imprint of the back on the inhale, the feet grounded. Maybe those feet are even turned out a little bit on a kind of a little plie position, rolling all the way through, massaging the spine as you go. And then if you naturally come up onto your shoulders, or normally in class, come up onto the shoulder blades, come onto the back of the shoulders. Take a breath. And then when you're ready, coming down, inhaling and exhaling. See if you can ease your spine down, all the way down the centre of the spine. And then land back into our long lengthened back position. Absolutely brilliantly done. Can you leave the legs here? Can you then place your hands onto the lower part of the rib cage? So your fingertips, maybe just your middle finger just touches. Yeah? And you can notice that you're at the bottom of the ribs. You can kind of dig into the body and kind of notice that if you want to. Just obviously gently relax. Let the back just rest wherever it wants to go. And then I want you to inhale wide into the hands. This is our Pilates breath, our thoracic breathing. So I want you to breathe in and notice, yes, the tummy rises, but I want our focus to be the middle part of the body here. And as you exhale, just soften everything down. So as you inhale wide into the ribs, into the sides of the body, notice the hands parting. Notice the hands coming quite a distance away from each other. And that's the volume of our breath. That's our diaphragmatic breathing. And notice everything softening back, and maybe the fingertips touching, maybe not. So our wide breath into our ribs. Letting the tummy soften, letting our pelvic floor soften. That's for all of us. And then on the exhale, just noticing maybe there's a little bit of energy from the tummy muscles, kind of connection with the tummy on that exhale. We've been looking at that, haven't we? Or just thinking a little bit about that. So notice how the breath expands the rib cage, expands the tummy, softens the pelvic floor. And notice the exhale, maybe there's a light connection with our pelvic floor. Don't worry if there isn't, but there'll definitely be a light connection with the tummy, just as the tummy softens back to the body. Now, the next thing I just want you to notice, we're not going to labour this, we're only going to do a couple more breaths, but if you can, notice the back of your body. Maybe some of us whose shoulders are okay, you can even just tip the fingertips back to the back of the ribs. So as you breathe in now, not only the tummy softening the pelvic floor, the rib cage widening to the sides, but notice the back as well. Notice that expansion in the back. Now on the exhale, can you notice how the back of the body lightly comes away from the mat, from the clothes? Yeah? So what we need to just notice there is our breath, and we know this in Pilates, but the breath affecting or activating pelvic floor, deep tummy muscles, and our back, particularly around that middle part of the back. And so we just notice that. And we're going to thread that in as we go over the next few weeks. Now, once we've noticed that breath, I want you just to bring the knees into chest. Give the knees a hug. That's enough kind of stillness. The rest is going to be moving. But not stillness, is it? Because there's so much work going on there. Draw the knees into chest. Put your left foot down. Now the legs are just back into parallel, and stretch the right leg up. Good. Get the stretch down the back of the leg. Circle the ankle. Inhaling and exhaling. Just enjoy. Good. And the other way. So I want a light stretch down the back of your leg. I want the pelvis down on the mat. And the leg stretching up to the sky. Ready just to fold the leg in and then recover. Yeah, we'll do the same to the other side. So we're going to bring our left leg in. Legs are back to parallel if we wanted, and then stretch the left leg up, maybe holding behind the thigh or the calf, and circle the ankle. Good, inhaling and exhaling as we go. Well done. Beautiful. Good, and as we bring the leg in, we're going to put the foot back to the ground, and we're just going to start with 3 bridges, just lovely easy bridges with our arms, just going a lovely flow with these going. Arms at the side, knees and feet in hip width, space between the lower back and the mat. Inhale as we imprint, grounding the feet. Good, and then exhaling, can you peel each vertebra at a time, kind of going back to where we'd start with our bridge pose. Good, sit bones to the backs of the knees, length through the front of the body, length through the back of the body, calm ribs. Arms widen off the mat. Notice the shoulders relax a little bit. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, both arms over the head. You're in that soft V we've been working on with the upper body there. And then start to come down from the back of the throat, inhaling. And then again, bone by bone, as much as we can, leaving those arms over the head, but you might need to bring those arms back. If we can, we hang into that lower back just for a moment. We stretch out the lower back to that long lengthened position. And then we can float the arms up to the ceiling and back to the side of the body. Yeah, well done, lovely. I'm just going to watch you do that twice more. So just really focusing on the imprint, yeah, the pausing, the peeling, going up. Remember, we've been working on going up, haven't we? And not going up and back. So peeling up. Yeah, that wide position of the arms just softens the shoulders. Some of us are going to leave the arms out, which is absolutely fine. See if you can get the arms wide enough to bring the back of the hand to the mat or the floor. Some of us will do that nice and easily. Some of us might take a little bit more width to do that. And then coming back down. Knees and feet in alignment if we can, not letting the knees drift, so connecting a little bit with the inner thighs. Travelling the spine all the way down. Doesn't matter if we brought our arms back already. And then seeing if we can hang out in that lower back just for a breath, stretching out through the front and back of the body. And then bringing the arms back. We've got one more to do. One more to do here. So inhaling as we imprint. Good. Now at this point we wouldn't have a cushion in the back of the head. You might have a flat towel, but you generally wouldn't have a cushion. I know that obviously there's a couple of us that would have a cushion, but generally, unless we need it, we would just have a flat towel. Lovely. See if you can lay the arms back and almost just kind of, rest into that. Let the shoulders open, let the chest open. Good. And then see if you can get bone by bone, a little bit at a time, making sure those heels are under your knees. I can see feet have drifted away. So you've got to have your feet under your knees. Yeah, lovely. And then there's our last one to bring us down to all the way back. I'm like really good on that one, gang. Really good. Okay, now, do you remember where we started this morning with our hip rolls? This is our last one on our back for the moment. So we started with our knees and feet in hip width and our arms wide, didn't we, and our feet. And then we exhaled over to our right side. So this is for anybody that doesn't want to go into the full hip roll. So we keep the head in the centre, we exhale the legs over, and now we're keeping the opposite, we're keeping the shoulders on the mat. We take a breath in, and the exhale, we use the waist. So this is this lovely rotation through that middle part of the body, brings the legs back. I'm doing one more of these. So exhaling, we're taking the legs over. You're pinning the back of the shoulders to the mat, the head in the centre, and we're using the waist as we now exhale the legs back. Notice a light connection with the abdominals as we come back. Now here's your second option, gang. Your left knee comes over your hip for me. There's still a little bit of space between the lower back and the mat. And we exhale with the same distance between both knees, both legs over to the right. Leave again the back of the shoulders. Don't be tempted to lift that left shoulder. I want you to notice the waist. As you exhale, use the waist to bring you back to your start position. So remember, on that exhale, we could lightly connect with our pelvic floor and our deep tummy muscle and back muscles there. We can breathe as we like as we change legs. Take a breath in and then exhale now the right leg over to the left with the same distance between the knees if we wanted it. We take a breath in. Good. And then on our exhale, we can bring both legs all the way back to our start position. Now our last option would be today to bring both knees over the hips. Now, if you've got your ball, you could grab your ball and place that between your knees if you wanted a little bit extra, yeah? And if not, you could imagine you've got the ball there, and that gives us a connection as well, yeah? Arms are wide, knees head up to the ceiling. There's a little bit of space between the lower back and the mat. Take a breath in. And on the exhale now, we travel both legs over. Now, you could have the legs together, you could have the ball, you could have the feet down just as we were, the single leg. Now notice now as you take the legs to the right, the hip lifts, the waist, the lower part of the ribs. Take a breath in. And on the exhale, draw the legs back, using that outward breath to bring back the ribs, the waist, and the hips back to level. Yeah. Now adapt. Do you need to replace one foot? Do you need to change it? Do you want to grab your ball there? Yeah, take a breath in. And on the exhale, we're going the opposite direction. So back of the shoulders, stay on the mat, whatever we're doing, whichever version we're on, we're traveling the legs over. I want you to find that lovely rotation into the middle part of the back, the waist. Now I want you to feel that strength. So as you bring the legs all the way back, light squeeze on the ball or a connection with those inner thighs, bringing the legs back. Take a pause. We have a little movement around. You've got one more each side and having a look. Feet might be on the ground, one foot might be on the ground. We might have our ball between our knees. Yeah, good. Yeah, and you're going slowly. It's slowly on the way out, guys, and it's slowly on the way back. So making sure we're not just rushing to come back. Yeah, the next one should be our last one. Yeah, well done. Well done on that. I'm just going to bob my camera down a little bit more now. Yeah, really well done. Good. Now, when you come back, could we take the ball, if we've had our ball pop it to the side, could we stretch both legs out, reach both arms over the head? Good. And then we're going to be coming into our moving open book. And that means we need a little bit of space to roll about the room. So don't worry if you go off camera or bump into your camera, it's fine. Maybe. Good. Nice stretch. And then bring the arms all the way back to our start. Yeah, so take a little roll over onto your side, and this is where the cushion could be quite handy, but don't worry if you don't want to use it. I've got a ginormous cushion from my sofa, so that's okay for me, but you don't have to use it. Could we, do you remember where we bring ourselves to our open book position, our palms together. Oh, this is actually really quite nice. Our palms together, our knees just had a little bit almost into our oyster position there. Good, and then we're going to take the top arm up. So as we take the top arm up, we take a breath in. And on the exhale, we're going to roll ourselves back just as we normally would. You know this is from the back of the body, don't you? And this is our first one. This is all I'd like us to do. So from the back of your body, you're rolling yourself back and you're looking towards your backhand. Now we can take a moment here. We can keep the legs together. Yeah, we can maybe squeeze the legs together, lower that bottom leg. We don't have to do any of that. We can relax the head into our cushion, or if we're on the mat, that's absolutely fine too. We can take the top arm up, bring it all the way back, inhaling, unraveling, and on the exhale, bring the palms together. Now you've got the option of repeating that. If you don't want to do the next little bit, you're absolutely fine to stay with a lovely open book. Yeah? If you want to join me, we're bringing the top arm up. Just enjoy. Inhaling up. Good. Exhaling, rolling back just from that back of the body. Yeah, follow the hand. Good. And then lovely stretch into the chest and the front of the shoulders. Now from here we pick ourselves up just onto the outside edge of our bottom foot and we start to roll the legs, inhaling. Good, and exhaling, going to roll the legs all the way to the other side. I'm just going to push my cushion over. Roll the legs all the way to the other side, and now we're looking to the bottom hand. Yeah, so we're looking back towards that bottom hand. Yeah, and we're in that lovely twist again. Now from here we keep rolling the legs, bring the bottom arm up, inhaling, and now we're at the other side of our move, aren't we? Good, and we can just readjust ourselves here. Now, I'm going to do this other side and then I'm going to watch you anyway, so don't think I'm turning my back on you, even though I am. So now we take the top arm up, inhale, just enjoy, soften the shoulder. Do you remember it's from the back of that shoulder as we exhale our way back? It's not about getting the arm back, it's just about where you can get to comfortably to open up into the chest and the front of the shoulder. So if you move your legs and roll yourself back further onto your mat, it's absolutely fine. Good, and then when you're ready, lift the knees, come up to the tippy toes, roll the leg over, so this is our little hip rolls, exhaling over, now you're looking at that bottom hand. So you're looking to the bottom hand, turn your head and look to your back hand. Yeah, just where we started. Inhale the top arm up, and exhale as you come all the way back to your start. Good, and then just enjoy. We're going to do those 2 rounds, the whole of that, just enjoy it. Just enjoy. We're going to do all that again, yeah, twice through. So you're back to your start position, your top arm's coming up, inhaling. Don't worry if you're going faster or slower, it's absolutely fine. So it's the arm moving and the upper body, yeah, stretching, pausing. Then it's the leg movement, so to the tippy toes, roll the leg, look back to your bottom hand first. Look back to where you're going first, and then look back to your bottom hand. So now you've got that wonderful stretch to the opposite side. And then float the arm up, inhaling, and we come all the way back. Now we're facing the opposite side, aren't we? Yeah, now we're coming back. So we're bringing the arm back, bringing the arm up, inhaling up. Good, and exhaling. See if you can pause for a moment. Can you leave the legs in the opposite direction for that moment before you come up to the feet? Yeah, and then as the legs start to roll towards your hand that you just moved there, you're looking back towards the other hand. Wonderful. Good. Yeah, lovely. Again, find that lovely pull and twist. And then we're bringing the arm all the way up. Good, and back. And we've got one more time all the way through. Yeah. Good, and if you're just doing your open book, you might be changing to that other side and doing the other side. So roll, inhale and exhale, enjoy the stretch. Perfect. Good, pausing, and then travelling the bottom arm to meet the top once the legs have rolled. Enjoy that. Good, and then start to come back. Inhaling the arm up. Good, exhaling as you roll, pausing, the knees going in that opposite direction. Soften the elbow, soften the shoulder, soften into the armpit. Good, and then the legs roll, so you start to bring the legs back. Inhaling and exhaling, really well done. Good, and then bring yourself all the way back to our start position. Absolutely fantastic. Good. And now we can move our cushion out of the way, roll ourselves to 4-point kneeling. Yeah? Just coming into cat. We're going to stay with our twisting a little bit as we come to our hip flexor stretch. So you might need to grab an extra cushion or blanket when you're ready. So inhale, let's come into a beautiful cat stretch. Can we round into that lower back? Yeah. And then can we exhale to come through to our long lower back? Now, quite often on the cat gang, I see this. I see nothing happening in the lower back and then loads happening in that middle back. Yeah. But remember, we've worked on, haven't we? Seeing if we can move from that lower back first. So can we get that rounding into the lower back as if we're doing our pelvic tilt, like we did with our into our bridge and our 5-point bridge? Can we get that little bit extra into the lower back? And we've talked a lot about having less in that middle back, haven't we? Well, we've just got one more to do. See how that feels for you. So round into that lower back first. Yeah, that's lovely. And then less into that middle back. Because we don't need to press into that middle back quite as much there, do we? We want to just really get that lower back rather than really pushing down and rounding into that upper and middle back there. Coming all the way through to our long back. Good, then when you're ready, just pop back to your knees. Grab your cushion if you need it, and then can you have the cushion or blanket under your left knee as you stride forward. Don't worry if you need to take that right leg forward. And I want us to come through to a gentle hip flexor stretch, so nothing too drastic. Back toes can tuck, hips ease forward, and then from here we're going to bring both arms all the way up and wide. So we're coming into a gentle spine twist as we add in to our hip flexor here. Lengthen up through the spine, the shoulders are over the hips rather than you leaning forward. Inhale, center, soften the elbows, soften the shoulders. We're exhaling to the right, so towards your front leg, and I want everything just really gentle. Take a breath in, notice the twist into the waist and that middle back that we've talked about, and then exhale, come round to your start position. Yeah? Now double check for me, have you leant forward there because we're not going to be able to move the spine quite as well, or are your shoulders over your hips? One more time, take a breath in, here's the length, yeah, and then exhale, gentle twist round to the right, lovely. Could we have a little bit of energy from the tummy muscles? That means we're not collapsing into that front thigh, so we're drawing ourselves up towards the ceiling. Inhale, and then exhale, gradually come back round to your start position. Release the arms, and I just want an inhale and an exhale, just a lovely swing. Good, and again, twice more. Good, good, and then relax. Pull yourself back, bring yourself back to your kneeling position, swap yourself over. Good, and then bring the left leg forward. Don't worry if we need to budge it there a little bit. Yeah, tuck the back toes, ease the hips forward so the front knee's over our ankle. Check your shoulders are up and over your hips for me, and bring your arms wide. 2 to the other side. Length through the spine, inhaling. Exhale, gentle twist away from our back leg there, so towards our left side. Take a breath in. Again, keep that length, and then exhale, come back to your start position. Soften the elbows, soften the shoulders. Beautiful. One more time to that opposite, to that same side. So going towards our left again, exhaling round, notice waist, middle back, go to that point that we can feel those areas working. Yeah, and then inhale and exhale to come all the way back to our start. Release the arms. Beautiful. Now come back to kneeling for me. 6 repetitions of our thread of the needle. So I'd like this time for the knees to be a bit wider, so you can separate your knees if you're going to a child pose position there. And then the hands can be just a little bit further away, a little bit wider if we like. Just get yourself settled. Space between the ears and the shoulders, lovely long spine. And then it doesn't matter which way you start, to be honest. We're doing 6. So we inhale whichever side you'd like to go to. So it could be you're coming towards the camera. Inhale a little bit of length, rotating the body round towards whichever side you're at there. And then exhale, just enjoy bending the opposite elbow and reaching through to that opposite side. Lowering the back of the shoulder, lowering the side of the head, taking a breath in, and on the exhale, coming back to your start. Yeah, and I'm going to watch you do that again. So you've got another 5. You might just adapt the hand position. So if you want to bring the hands back a little bit, you can. If you want to bring them in a little bit, you can. Now the opposite side, here's number 5. So actually it's number 2. So inhaling, rotating round, and then exhaling as we thread through, bend the elbow, lower the shoulder. You might get just a little bit of the way, that's absolutely fine. Good, inhale, wide into the back, wide into those ribs. Good, wake up the breath there and then coming back. Yeah, we'll do that again. Good, so inhaling, lengthen the spine, guys. So remember, we don't want to start here. We don't want to start here because we're not going to be able to, the shoulders and the spine aren't going to be able to move very well there. Yeah, so if we notice what happens when you lengthen out, you get a little bit more space through the shoulder area particularly. Good, enjoy that thread and reach. Yeah, find the stretch. And each time you come back, find the length through the spine. Yeah, so don't just expect that you're coming back and then that's fine. Revisit that position. Yeah, good, using the breath again, inhaling. Again, we're into that lovely rotation, getting that beautiful movement into the middle part of the body, the waist. Yeah, wonderful. And it doesn't have to be the arm going high. It can be the hand on the hip. Some of us have got the hand on the hip, which I know feels good too. Good. And when you've finished your 6, could you come back for me just to a child pose, just so I know everybody's finished there. Hips sit back, arms reach out or come back, and just stretch out through the back body as well. Good, so when you finish your 6, reach out through the fingertips. Maybe nudge those sit bones a little bit further back towards your heels if you can. Yeah, enjoy that. Take an extra breath here, wide into the back of the body, into the ribs, into the sides, into the back, into the front. And then exhale, soften everything down. Well done. We're coming all the way onto our front, so we can bring ourselves onto our forearms and onto our tummy. And we did this similar exercise last week, which is the rotation, almost like our dart with the opposite leg lifting. You know this. But just before we do that, we'll do a front of the thigh stretch. So forehead onto the hand, whichever hand, and then take the opposite foot. So I've got my right hand for my forehead, my left heel towards my bottom there. So drawing the leg in, hips are down, opposite leg stretches out. Yeah, we could use the back of the sock, we could use the back of the trousers as well. Yeah, so let's just get an extra pull and openness down the front of the thigh. That's going to help us in a moment with our back extension. And release when you're ready. And we'll do exactly the same to the other side. So forehead resting on the mat, legs stretch out, heel towards the bottom. Take the top of the foot or the back of the trousers, use your band if you wanted, and then draw the heel in. Well done, gang. Loads of options there, and I can see some people have come onto our side as well, and that's quite a nice way. We don't have to do it on our tummy, so absolutely fine to be on your side. Well done. Stretching out the opposite leg, drawing the heel in, noticing the stretch down the front of the right thigh if you're with me. Good, and then release the leg, and the legs are in parallel. Now, you can do the first part of this, you don't have to do everything. So when you're ready, could you have the arm that's nearest the camera, if you're in that position, by the side of you, yeah? And then your other hand is for your forehead. And if you're just parallel to the camera, you choose whichever feels good for you. So resting here with our legs, parallel if we can, maybe a little bit wider if that's okay. And we start really with our swan. So it's the inhale, a little bit of support from our bottom arm, inhaling as we lift and lengthen, that's all I like. So your palm of your straight arm can face your body, and notice that you're almost in your diamond press position with your lower hand there, lower arm. Take a breath in, and then on the exhale, we're coming down to recover. Good, lengthening and stretching, and then releasing back to the mat. And then here we go. So we're going to inhale to come up, just as we've done. Absolutely fine to come down. On the exhale, if you wanted, you're turning towards that straight arm, sending the palm up towards the ceiling, or looking towards the camera side if you've got the camera side there. Good, take a breath in, you've got it. So again, we've got a lovely little bit of rotation. Notice this opening across the front of the shoulder and chest, and then exhaling to come down and recover. So that's our second option. Guys, we've got 4 more, so you can decide where you're going. This is our third and final option. Inhaling as we lengthen and lift. Like I say, we were doing this last week. And then on the exhale, the opposite leg lengthens and lifts. The thumb heads up to the sky and we open into the chest. Now, it's tempting here to be kind of collapsed in the neck. So just make sure we've got some support from our bottom arm and our bottom leg that's on the ground. Inhale. And then exhale to lengthen all the way back to our start. Just probably one of the best exercises for our posture here. So much going on. You've got 2 more to do. Inhaling as we lengthen and lift. And then exhaling, adding the rotation in, adding the leg in if we wanted. Yeah, lovely. Good, wonderful. And just feel that lovely pull across the back of the body. Yeah, lovely neck positions, not straining. Don't have to worry about coming too high, but just turning a little bit out from that elbow, turning the palm away from you so that sits that shoulder back a little bit. Yeah, lovely. Good. Yeah, we've got that. Beautiful. So if you did your 4 that I said, your 4 there, that would be great. So we should have done 6 in total. So if you've got an extra one to add in, then that's absolutely fine. Good, now we're going to swap sides. So I'm just going to stay on the same side, just so you can see, and we'll just go through all that again on the other side. So the first option was inhaling up. So lengthening both legs, reaching out through the crown of the head, absolutely fine, stay with that. Good, and then inhale and exhale just as we come down and recover. Relax the shoulders. And then our second option was to come up, lengthening both legs, inhaling. And then as we exhale, we can open the chest. We're going to the opposite direction. Yes, we've got some support for that bottom arm. We're not pushing down on that bottom arm, but we know it's supporting us. Good, inhaling and exhaling to recover. And then we've got 4, hopefully we did 4, where we added our leg if we wanted, or we've got 4 more. So we inhale, create that length. You're turning your palm away from the camera, it's the opposite arm, and the opposite leg lifts. You're reaching back. You might be in a child pose, you might just be in swan, you might go into cat. Now, inhaling and exhaling to come down. Just enjoy that. And we're not snapping anything off, are we? We're just getting a lovely little bit of a lift, a little bit of our rotation that we've worked on. Now we're just noticing the back of the body, we're noticing maybe the glute muscles, or we're noticing that we need a breather, which is absolutely fine too. Yeah. Good, inhaling and exhaling as we go. Yeah. So lengthening a lift. Good, watching that we're not taking those shoulders up. So remember, as we're rotating, we want to soften the shoulder. Yeah, lengthen the legs, both hips pretty much shining towards the mat as we do that. Lovely, I think we should have 1 more to do. I'll just do the last one with you just in case you've got stuck there. So inhaling, lengthen and lift to your swan, and then your exhale, opposite arm to leg or opposite leg to arm as you lengthen and lift and rotate. Yeah, nothing strained, nothing forced. Inhaling and exhaling as you come all the way back down. You're absolutely brilliant, go. Recover there. Good. Could we then just take the hands under the shoulders, push ourselves all the way up? Could we head back into a cat? So round into your lower back, softly through the middle and upper back, and then tuck the chin. Head back into your child pose in that cat pose. So exhale, just notice that extra stretch into the lower back as we hang back over those heels. Beautifully done, go. Really well done. Good, and then I'd like us to come all the way back to 4-point kneeling. From here, we're going to come round and we might want to sit on our cushion. And we've got a little combination here of the spine twist, the spine stretch, and the saw. We haven't got many repetitions. And again, you might want to be on your block, you might want to be on your cushion as we do that. So we're going to start with our legs a little bit wider than hip width. And this is a good position just for all 3 of those little movements there. Right again, up on those sit bones like I said. Give everybody a chance to get on your block or cushion. Good, and then bring the arms up to shoulder height and take the arms wide. Go gently, just enjoy. Going to keep the knees bent. Going to keep the knees bent. We haven't done too much on those hamstrings yet, so absolutely fine to have those knees bent here. Good, and then when you're ready, let's rotate round to the left side. So I'll just go with my position here. So we'll rotate round to spine twist to the left. So that's our gentle spine twist, that's it. Just everything soft, everything light. You could have the hands down, you could be in a little modified position, you could be in that Cossack position if you wanted. Good, inhale, come back to our start position. And then fold on the exhale, let's just fold forward into our spine stretch. So just travelling forward, maybe the hands come to the shins or just the fingertips reach somewhere towards the ground in front of you. Take a breath in, no bouncing here, and then exhale all the way back up to our seated position. Float the arms up and wide again, or if you're in your Cossack, you're changing there. Inhale, centre, exhale, twist to the other side. So here's our spine twist to the other side, just exactly as we did in our hip flexor position, everything soft and light. Inhaling, and then you're exhaling, unravel waist and middle back. Good, and again, we let the arms fold forward, we nod the chin to chest, and your next exhale, this time we're going to scoop the tummy muscles in a little bit to stretch over. So we can imagine, my big cushion, we're coming up and over the cushion, and as we do that, we're keeping the lower back in the same position, and we're stretching out through that lower back. Yeah, it's quite a good, actually we'll practice this next week actually, because it is quite good. Inhale, and then exhale, come all the way back to our seated position. Take the arms wide, toes up to the sky if you wanted, legs maybe a little bit straighter if you wanted. Inhale to the left again, now it's the saw. Rotate round, and then soften the elbows. Exhale, right hand to left little toe, forehead down towards your knee or thigh. It's doesn't have to get there, no need. Back hand, left hand just rests on the mat. Inhale, coming all the way back up. Lengthen yourself back to your upright position. Exhale to the center. We go again, spine stretch. Inhale, a little bit of energy from the center. Imagine you've got your beach ball, you're coming over that beach ball. So notice how the lower back stays in the same position, and we get that middle and upper back stretching a little bit more. Take a breath in, and on the exhale, unravel lower back, middle back, like we do with our bridge or our roll down, all the way back up, separate the arms. Inhale, center. Inhale, to rotate. Exhale, stretch over, opposite hand to foot, your left hand to slice off your little right toe, forehead down towards the thigh. Take a breath in, coming all the way back over the leg, controlling it. Yeah, lower back, middle back, upper back, shoulders, neck and head. Again, remember, we're not coming with a straight back there, back to our center. One last time. Arms come forward, inhale, nod. The beach ball or the big cushion to stretch over. Yeah, relax the shoulders, exhaling over. Can we stretch out the legs maybe a little bit? Take a breath in, and on the exhale, rebuild and slowly restack all the way back to our start. Release the arms. Well done. Yeah, I'm liking this today. We've got this. This is nice, relaxed hands. Very nice. I like it. Well done. Okay, so now we're going to come all the way down onto our back. We're going to grab our bands. We're coming back up, so don't get comfy going. We're coming back up. Place your bands around your right foot when you're ready. Let's just come into those lovely stretches, just our regular band stretches. Just enjoy. So now we've got our right leg up to the sky. Don't worry if you're on your left. And don't worry if you haven't got your band, you can hold just into the back of the thigh, can't you? We don't need to worry about that too much. And we might have our left foot on the floor if you're with me, and your back resting on the mat. Yeah, we can have a look at the leg, the ankle, the knee and the hip in that little bit of alignment. We can soften the knee. And then some of us may stretch out our left leg, might we? We can relax the shoulders, the back of the head, just settling lightly on the mat. Enjoy. Inhale and exhale. A nice lengthening down the back of the leg. Maybe noticing the calves. And see what happens if you've got the band secure on your foot and the band is over the ball of your foot and over your toes. See what happens when you press your heel up to the ceiling and lightly bring your toes down towards your face. So you get quite a good pull into that Achilles tendon area or lower part of the leg. Let's see if that works for you. Might be a little bit too much for some of us. Good, and then see if you can push your toes up to the ceiling. So we're pushing against that. And then just see if you can go again. Can you send your heel up and your toes down? Well done. Good, now from here, can we take the band in the left hand or even both hands and gradually just take the leg over to our opposite side there. So we're getting the stretch into the outer thigh, hip, maybe into the buttocks. We're going to keep the back on the mat. Just find that good stretch. Just enjoy that knee soft, opening up into that outer side of the leg there. Good. Keep the ankle in a good position, or keep the foot in a good position so you're not letting your foot collapse. And then sweep the leg back up to the ceiling. Keep your hips on the ground and open the leg to the right. So we find that inner thigh stretch, easing the leg over to the right. Go to the point that you're not shaking the muscles, just stretching and enjoying that rather than the whole leg shaking. Can you keep your left foot down, your left heel, your left leg, your left hip? And then draw the leg back to the start. Swap legs, exactly the same to the other side. So you can bend the left knee to put the foot on the ground and then put the foot where the right leg is. And vice versa if you're on the other side. And then when you put the right foot down, maybe notice there's a little bit more of a stretch going on with that leg, or it just feels a little bit looser, a little bit happier. And then we'll send the left leg up. Okay, so the left leg goes up. And again, we check ankle, knee and hip. We might soften that knee and we might stretch out our right leg. Okay, we'll relax the shoulders, we're not over gripping the band, and if we haven't got the band, we're holding behind the thigh. Good. Sometimes it's quite nice to change it up as well, isn't it? Inhaling and exhaling. Just finding that length down the back of the leg, taking your time. Soft breath, maybe even just closing our eyes for a moment. Noticing the body's relaxed, focused. Can we take the band, so it's making sure it's around the ball of the foot, maybe over the toes. And can we send the heel up to the sky, the toes down towards your face. Check you're not over gripping that band, creating extra tension. Maybe even just be loose on that band. And just the weight of the arms, or maybe you're down your band and the backs of the arms are on the mat or the floor. Yeah, lovely. Yeah, then can we go the other way and just press the toes up into the band, the ball of the foot. Try not to ping the band off. And release it one more time. Can you bring the heel up, the toes down? Enjoy. Good, then we'll take the band as we relax the left leg over to the right. Some of us will keep the right leg out. Some of us might even bend the knee a little bit. Just depends how that right leg feels. Can we keep the left hip down and stretch the leg over to the right? Can we keep the left shoulder, the left arm down? Can we look at the left foot and check that the foot hasn't collapsed and you're not straining the foot there? You're drawing the leg across. Inhale and exhale. Find that outside edge, ready to come all the way back to our start. And then over to our left side, opening up. And again, we're going to anchor the right hip down, the right leg down, or the right foot, the right heel, the right arm, as we take the leg out to the left. Good, again, we're relaxing into it. We might have a bent knee position, that might be better for us. Well done again. Good, gradually come back to your start. Good, take the band, and the band's in half. Yeah, so as you take the band off your foot, your band's in half. Imprint your back, Bring both knees over your chest. Yeah. So now the band is over your chest, or your knees are over your hips. A little bit in is absolutely fine, and your band's over your chest or pretty much over your knees. Knuckles are up to the sky. Right leg, single leg stretch, band over the head. Open up into the front of the body. Touch the knuckles to the ground. Inhale, come back. Good. Exhale, left leg stretches out. The whole of your back rests on the mat. Good. And then inhale back to the start. Now we could leave the arms out. We could take the arms back so that the biceps are level with the ear. Good. Some of us will want to take the leg high, so going straight up to the sky rather than out. And some of us will want to go out and low off the ground, which is fine, as long as we start there. Yeah, so as long as we kind of tap the toe down and out rather than going out and down. Yeah, it's a slight change. You're probably thinking, what's she talking about there? Good, we go again, 8 to go. So exhale, use the center. Inhale, remember come back to where we started, where we took that breath in, wide into the ribs and the back, that's good. And then on the exhale, we can just connect with our pelvic floor. So there's the breath in as you're starting, and the exhale, maybe the connection with the pelvic floor and the deep tummy muscles, and the inhale, everything relaxing. So use that outward breath as the leg goes away from you, the arms go over the head, just to engage. And maybe on this one now, on our last 4, you can notice on that exhale, the back of the body lightly pulling in away from the fabric of the clothes or the mat. Just very lightly, just note it. Maybe like 0.5 millimetre of movement through that back body. 2 to go. Exhaling out and inhaling home. This is our last one. Good. Exhaling away. Superbly done, Gao. And inhaling to come back. Release the arms. Put the band to the side. Bring the knees into chest. Inhale, nod. Exhale, rock. Yeah, take a moment. You might have come to your side. Spin all the way around. Good. And then take a breath here. Now we are coming up to standing. Good. A little bit of balance, and we're working on our rotations as well. So you could lift the hips, walk the hands to the feet to the hands. Bring the feet to hip width. Don't worry if you've got any other way. Inhale, start to come away from the ground. And exhale, unwind ourselves to standing. I'm just going to budge my camera up, just so that you can't just see my head's lopped off, isn't it there? Good. I might need a head. So let's bring ourselves then to stand on our left leg. Yeah, stand on our left leg, and we've worked on maybe just picking up your heel, finding the balance, and then allowing the knee to lift. Now don't worry if that knee's not coming up very high or you're on your tippy toes. Good, and then we'll do our soft position for our little twist here, our little spine twist, our last one. Long in the waist, space between the ears and the shoulders, fingertips together, inhaling. We're heading to the right on the exhale. Can we use all that lovely rotation that we've done into the waist and the middle back now, just to take us round to the right. With our balance, take a breath in, and then our exhale will bring us round back to our start. Do not worry if you're putting your foot down. Go, well, exhale round again. Rotate yourself round. Don't worry if you take that wobble, it's absolutely fine. Good, inhale. And exhale to come back to your start position. I nearly fell over. Release the arms, lower the leg. Now remember, you could even have the arms down, so don't feel you have to have the arms up. Good, then stand on the right. Well done. Find that firmness on the right side, and then just creep the heel up. And when you're ready, lift the knee. So it just gives you a chance to get to that balance. Add in the upper body if we're adding that in. Take a breath in. Well done, guys. Good, and then on the exhale, we're rotating. Now length through the crown of the head, tailbone towards the ground. Firmness, inhale as we're in that lovely rotation. Lovely single leg work as well. And then exhale to come back to our start. We have got one more. Inhale again, you're doing absolutely brilliantly. And then exhale as we ease our way round. Good, again, create that length, space, ears and shoulders, hips and ribs. Exhaling to come back, well done. Well done. Yeah, absolutely fine to have that wobble, isn't it? Lower everything down, then take the feet wide. Arm slaps. Inhale and exhale. Enjoy. Good. Now we can leave the feet down on the ground. See how that feels. See how that feels. And use the breath. Use the breath. Find a little bit of a pattern for yourself. Good. So feel how that feels with the feet grounded. The legs are strong. Good, and then notice what happens when we lift the heel. So when we lift the heel, we might just have a little bit more movement, might we? It might feel a little bit easier. Yeah, one's not better than the other, just different. Good, lovely. Good, go 4, relax. Go 3, beautiful. Go 2, enjoy. Good, and 1. So remember, it's just the arms moving down, and then just really slowly, just bringing the arms all the way back to our start. Well done. We're going to leave our feet in that same position and enjoy a lovely couple of roll downs. Arms at the side, or just at the front if they're just coming forward there. Nod the chin to your chest, take a breath in. Look to the feet there, wider than hip width. Exhale, start to roll through that upper part of the back. Take another breath in, let your head hang. Good, exhale a little bit further down. Yeah, lovely. Inhale, and exhale a little bit deeper. Pause when we've gone as far as we want. This feels good. Inhale, start to rebuild. Good, exhale, unraveling. Inhaling, exhaling. Come back to standing. Pick the shoulders up towards your ears, give them a little squeeze. Exhale, let them go. Hold your chin to chest again. Enjoy. Exhale, roll upper back. Inhale again. I can be moving as we breathe in and out. Exhale, roll. Let your head go. Let your neck release. Inhale and exhale. Take a breath in and start to lift. Exhale and unraveling. Inhale on the move. Exhale, rebuild. Inhale and exhale all the way to our standing position. Pick the shoulders up, breath in. Exhale, let them go this time. Inhale up. And exhale, let them go. One last time, inhale. Exhale. And relax.